Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a case that is local to me. Miss Kayla Prestridge. She, in 2018, passed away, unfortunately. There are circumstances around her passing that is very suspicious. No one has ever been charged in the murdering of Miss Kayla Prestridge. Right now, I'm going to present to you the um, the evidence that we have before us right this minute. Before we do so, I'm going to present my copyright disclaimer. So as we play these news clips and things, this is for news reporting, and that is what we're using it for. I'm reporting on the news that is happening close to me right now. The case has been reopened by the local sheriff's department. We will be covering what the family has put on their Facebooks. We will be covering the news articles and the news stories. So, and there's also a GoFundMe, and I'll explain in a little bit why they have that GoFundMe. So first, we're going to start out. I'm going to present screen. I'm going to share the screen. Okay, and I'm going to go to the tabby. And we're going to go watch this. We got some ads. I apologize for that. Obviously, this is how the news site makes their thing. This is Miss Beautiful Kayla right here. Now we're going to listen to the story.
Founded in 2007, Corinth Jewelers has been a cornerstone of fine jewelry in Mississippi. From engagement rings to anniversary bands, Corinth Jewelers offers the ultimate shopping experience with the largest bridal selection and the most affordable prices. My all-female team has proven to be the area's fine jewelry experts. At Corinth Jewelers, your family is our family. Visit us today at Corinth Jewelers for everything that sparkles.
Corinth Jewelers! A detective with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is revisiting a cold case from 2018 involving a woman who died after falling out of a moving car. Kayla Prestridge died from blunt force trauma when she fell out of that moving car back in October of 2018. The case, though, is still active. It was not ruled a suicide. In fact, the manner of death was ruled unknown at the time. Investigator Wayne Wilbanks says Kayla's death was initially looked at as an accident. Wilbanks says Kayla's ex-boyfriend was driving that night and was the only witness. Wilbanks says the MBI did investigate. Investor Wilbanks says that he met with the family recently, and he says they gave him some new information and more statements.
The family actually had a few more statements, some other things that we never received that kind of contradicted the theory that was going around at the time about her jumping from the vehicle. We never received that until we met with the family this past time.
Again, no one has been charged with a crime. The cause of death was blunt force trauma, but the manner of the death was not determined. Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Kayla Prestridge's family is asking anyone with any information to call the Sheriff's Office. You can also call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers.
Okay, so what we're going to go through now is the news report from Monroe County Journal. MCOS Review 2018 Death and Investigation. This is her beautiful family right here. That is her mother, her sister-in-law, who was like her best friend. That is them, they were up there trying to get justice. That's, allow faith to take control. And they have a picture of Kayla on it. Then we have investigators recently took another look at the 2018 death investigation involving the late Kayla Nicole Prestridge, and anyone who has hard evidence, not theories, as to what led to her death and is asked to contact authorities. Prestridge, 25, was admitted to the emergency room of Amory's Hospital October 22nd, 2018, and died 4 days later at North Mississippi Medical Center in Tupelo. She was the passenger in a vehicle, and in statements taken at the Amory ER indicate she said she was going to jump out of the car and commit suicide. Prestridge's family is convinced the statement is not true. We want to know, for peace, for her daughter to know what happened to her mother. We don't want hearsay. We want hard evidence. If you saw anything or heard anything, don't be afraid to send a statement in. If you don't know, if you don't want to go in, said her mother, Debbie Sanders, of reporting credible information to law enforcement. She added Prestridge's daughter will be 9 in November. In 2.5-hour-long meeting, September the 6th, family members reviewed medical records, photographs, and written statements with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, investigators who served at the time of the incident. Both agencies have followed several leads, but there's not enough evidence to present to a grand jury that could successfully lead to a court trial. No one was ever charged in the case. Sheriff Kevin Crook said law enforcement wants to achieve the same goal Prestridge's family does in the case, to find the truth. The last communication Sanders received from her daughter was a text message at 5:38 a.m. that morning asking her to pick her up from the Exxon station in Amory, which was stated as being out of character. Sanders responded roughly a half an hour later after waking up, but never received a response. Sanders was notified at 6:45 a.m. her daughter was taken to the hospital. I can't sleep every morning between 3:30 and 5. I feel that that's when it all happened. Sometime between those times. I didn't start doing this 6 years ago because I wanted to, she said. Crook said several families go through similar instances. It's hard for anyone going through it. You don't want to give them answers, but when you don't have answers, you don't have answers. You try to disprove theories or prove theories. People are telling them one thing, and when we come along, they tell us something totally different. It's normal, and we see that a lot, he said. With investigations, second and third hand information isn't a reliable source of information and can sometimes waste time and resources. The way we approach it is we hear it, we have an idea about it, it's either fits or it doesn't fit into what we have actively working, but we've got to check it out. That takes time away from the legitimate pursuits or takes us off track for however long and takes us away manpower to chase down a lead to find people 3 states away, and we find out it was nothing but hearsay. We don't encourage people coming forward with just theories they hear out. Ahead of the recent meetings with Prestridge's family, MCOS investigators rechecked elements of the case, including statements and evidence. It's always good to get another set of eyes on stuff, to go back over things to make sure we're not missing something. Crook said, anyone with solid evidence in this case is asked to contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Office at 662-369-2468 or Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers at 1-800-530-7151. People can also submit anonymous tips on the P3 app, which is free to download on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. That is the news stories that we have right this second. We're going to go over here also, and we're going to show what the family has presented thus far. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share that. Let me go ahead and get this up here. I apologize for the wait. All right, here we go. This scan shows the fracture to the front of her skull. Both eye sockets shattered, the bridge of her nose completely shattered and separated. All the black specks you see at the eyes and nose is brain matter and fluids. The blunt force trauma to the back of her skull didn't break skin either, but was powerful enough to shatter and break her front facial areas. Kayla showed typical battle signs like fingerprint bruising and handprints on her arms, but Kayla had no scratches or abrasions that sustained from jumping from a moving vehicle. She had one mark on her back and butt area from where she had been getting iron shots, and it was scarred, but not scrape or abrasion to match jumping from a moving vehicle. The thing circled is the main big breaks to the front of her face. I want to point that out. Justice for Kayla. Okay. This right here shows the fingerprint. You know, you can see like it looks like fingerprints. That looks like that could possibly be the thumb, and those be the fingers on her arm. Consistently showing, we'll zoom in, no abrasions, it seems. We'll go over here to the next slide. That's beautiful Kayla. Kayla and her beautiful daughter. Kayla is a young child. This right here is associated with the pictures I'm going to show of the t-shirts. Here's some of someone else's bloody clothes that Kayla was clothed in when she was dropped off at the hospital that morning. These clothes were 3 times too big for Kayla. She's also didn't have on any undergarments, and if you know Kayla, you know she never went anywhere without a bra and panties, ever. This right here is a picture of the when she was in the hospital, basically, right? It says up here, general, she is well developed, well nourished, intubated, white female who really is not doing much. It is hard to tell if she is dicturate or dicrobrat's posturing with her upper extremities. Her pupils are equally round. They are sluggish. Tympanic membrane on the right is occluded with blood. Tympanic membrane on the left appears to have blood behind the eardrum. Chest is clear. Heart is regular in the 80s. Abdomen soft. It is non-distended. No obvious masses. Pelvis stable to rock. She had a Foley catheter is in place, draining clear urine. No obvious significant abrasion. She was weak distal pedal pulse. Difficult to assess on her neurological problems. Her back was rolled. There are no obvious step-offs along the thoracic or lumbar spine. She does have a little bit of abrasion on the low back and gluteal area. Diagnostic data. Her workup has been quite extensive. Toxicology screen was noted. Urinalysis was negative. CBC, coagulation panel, chemistries are noted. Pregnancy test is negative. ABG is noted. Impression. Status post catastrophic head injury. Severe closed head injury. Dr. Bobo is admitted the patient to the hospital ER. Okay, we're going to go to the next page. No other obvious injuries. It is really a lack of any significant abrasions that would suggest a jumping from a car at a high rate of speed. The patient will be taken to the intensive care unit and monitored there. Dr. Bobo has talked to the family. They have briefly spoken to the family. There are no significant chest or abdominal injuries that will need to be addressed at this time. They will follow up if needed. Right then, the plan was conservative care. Dr. Bobo does not feel the event is survivable. He is discussing this with the family. Treatment per neurosurgery. The sensitivity will follow along and be available if needed. Basically, she did not survive this event. And here we have the family's Another post we have here. When I see this photo, my heart is crushed. To know Kayla was to love her, and believe me, she loved wholeheartedly. One of the strongest types of love I have ever felt. I hope every single day MCSD officers and investigators and MBI can see this photo and it throws daggers straight to their hearts. If she was your child, friend, niece, sister, grandchild, would you feel the same? Would this case steadily be underlooked and swept under the rug, or would y'all be making stuff happen if it was the other side of the fence? I am sick of the grief and hurt, but most of all, sick of y'all not doing your jobs. Justice for Kayla May. We need to petition this for the whole county to see. You see, Kayla was murdered and it went unnoticed. No news article, nothing. We were silenced so they could do their jobs, but instead they silenced us to destroy evidence and sweep things under the rug. The same ones involved are the same ones in and out of your prison walls, in and out of house arrest and probation, out here doing the most constantly, and y'all just slap them on the wrist. If y'all would have done things professionally from the jump, we wouldn't still be here having to collect and give y'all things. I have so much crap on my hard drive that I have sent Wayne Cantrell myself. Never no good type of communication with him. He always pushed us over and said, I'll call you, let you know, but never picked up the phone to call and let us know anything. No reports, no anything. Hospital reported state none of her injuries, so staying from jumping from a moving vehicle. But y'all say suicide. Nah. I mean, what did she do? Hit herself in the back of the head with the hammer? The hammer wrapped in the towel was also reported to y'all. Y'all failed to go and get the evidence. It's a dang shame what y'all, who are supposed to serve and protect, have put my family through. Till this day I die, I will scream justice for Kayla May Prestridge. Say her name. We will never forget what happened in 2018 and how y'all also poorly did your jobs. Edited to add, this is not a hate on Monroe County Post. I'm just speaking my mind in general. This case was underlooked and mishandled. Monroe County actually has several great deputies. I have also noticed they are getting a lot of new deputies. And if they haven't all left or retired, whatever, there was a few good investigators. But the ones who handled our case was terrible. Investigations shouldn't be in their career. Also, the sheriff at the time was the biggest clown there ever was. So there's that. Let's bring the case to some light. October 22nd will make 6 years. This is Kayla May Prestridge. If I don't have any information correct, hopefully, and that was talking about the sister-in-law, which is like her sister and her mother, can straighten it out or add to it. But approximately 6 years ago, Kayla tried to call her mom to come pick her up from the Exxon in Amory, Mississippi. Debbie was asleep and didn't get the text till a few hours later. Immediately started trying to get a hold of her. If I'm remembering correctly, her baby daddy answered the phone and let them know she was in the hospital in Amory, Mississippi. Upon arriving at the hospital, they were told that Kayla jumped out of a moving vehicle trying to ill herself. The baby daddy literally dropped her off at the hospital and left her there. She had blunt force trauma to the back of her head, no road rash, and bruising on her arms that appeared to be fingerprints. She was dressed in clothes 3 times too big for her, and her family have never seen these clothes before, and the clothes are covered in blood. She had 3 shirts on, some bottoms, not sure how many, no underwear, no bra, no socks. Her family said she would never go anywhere without a bra. The family was told that Kayla was beat to death in a house with a hammer wrapped up. They called police to go to the house and collect the hammer, but it was thrown away and the garbage truck ran before they could collect it. Nothing has ever been done to the baby daddy, not really questioned or anything. People have tried to come forward to the police, but they won't return phone calls or collect witness statements. I'm just wondering why nothing has ever been done when she died of blunt force trauma. The doctors have said that she doesn't have any injuries consistent with jumping or falling out of a moving vehicle, and she has bruising on her arm where someone grabbed her and held her. I'm going to attach the photo so you can see for yourself. And ask yourself, if this was your daughter, sister, mother, friend, etc., wouldn't you want something done? Please share and help get justice for the family. Attached are photos of her on the hospital. Her arm where you can clearly see bruising, and doctor reports in the clothes she was dropped off in the hospital. This is the police report. On 10/22/2018, officer redacted was dispatched to Amory ER to take a report. Upon arrival, I spoke to Jonathan Thompson. Thompson stated that he and his girlfriend Kayla Prestridge were driving on Hester Cutoff Road on the morning of 10/22/2018 when Prestridge stated she would just ill herself and opened the passenger side door of his 2006 Nissan Altima, white in color, and jumped out. Thompson advised he got out of the vehicle and put Prestridge back in the car and drove her to the Amory emergency room. Investigator, redacted, was advised of the situation. End report. Here is the sample police report that was taken. Jonathan dropped Kayla off in the ER lobby and met deputy outside for report. He waited until he was back in Amory to call 911 after casually driving past Kayla's mother's house that morning, caught on security camera. Kayla was already hurt before driving past her mother's home. He was in the mix of coming up with a plan at this point, which is probably when he thought about ditching her body. We have a voice recording of him saying this. I tried to mark out deputy investigator's name without covering anything else. Also, keep in mind, they went through a roadblock around midnight and Jonathan was driving. The same officer who took this poor statement at the hospital and didn't even go in to look at Kayla. Also, the same officer who allowed him to get out of the driver's seat and made Kayla drive. He had a suspended license. These are the clothes that they were talking about. The shirt that was too big. Another shirt. This is another one. The family has stated that if you look at these two shirts, do they not look the same? Look at the neckline on this one and this one. This person, they state, is a person of interest in the case. They have the face covered because, they can't have that in there because that could, they can't put that up on Facebook or anything with the person's face. Also, they know who the person is, I believe, or someone does. They just can't do that because the post a lot of their posts has been taken down multiple times through Facebook. They've been on this road for justice for Kayla for a very long time. Some of the people who were involved or other people have been reporting their post and getting them taken down. They're reposting of the what I just read y'all earlier from the Daily Journal has been taken down multiple times. This is what is about the shirt, what they said on Facebook about the shirt. What do y'all think? Does the bloody shirt and the shirt this said person is wearing match up to y'all? This said person is a key ingredient to our case. Please keep the insert of the next scene. Think about the next scene. That's what they're talking about. This seam right here. The way the seam looks. That is the evidence that the family has released thus far. They also have a GoFundMe that I'm going to share. So we're going to go to that right now. I'm going to present screen. Okay. We are the family of Kayla Prestridge. This GoFundMe is strictly to raise funds for us as a family to give to our local sheriff's department to send the clothes Kayla had on, clearly not her clothes, off for DNA testing to a private company. She got murdered somehow, and we've been waiting 6 years with no results, nothing from them. Now they're taking another look at the case, but we asked them to, and they and they acted to see the inconsistencies and discrepancies that we have pointed out to them. They told us last week they have the funds for a cold case, but this week they're telling us it takes 3 to 5 years for the state lab to send it there and back. We just can't wait that long. Private lab doesn't take as long for results. It's already been 6 years and her daughter is 9. They tried saying she allegedly jumped from the vehicle to commit suicide, but nothing in the doctor's statements, hospital reports, or autopsy says anything about suicide. It says blunt force trauma. And the doctor's statement stated she sustained no injuries from jumping from a moving vehicle. Another doctor note stated she had typical battle signs on the right side of her head and face. Typical battle signs and jumping from a moving vehicle are two different things. It's ridiculous what the family has been going through to find out what happened to Kayla on the night or morning of October, from October 21st to October 22nd of 2018. Please help if you can. I don't know exactly what it will cost in full, but I do know that the sheriff said it would be $1,500 per sample submission and $700 for each comparison, and we need 4 comparisons at this time. Thank y'all. Please share. Now, if we do a little bit of math, all right, 4 comparisons, $700 a piece, that'll be 14 and 14. So that will be $2,800, I believe, if I'm correct. Yeah, $2,800. Then you add that to the 15. That's going to be like 4,200 or really close to 5,000. And if they need any other comparisons, it's going to cost more than that. If they need any more samples, it's really going to cost, right? So if they're wanting to take a couple samples from each shirt, they're looking at way more than $5,000. So, you know, so far they have raised $225 of their $5,000 goal. I am going to share this as you see me right now. I'm going to put that in the description box of this video. And if you, I hope that the family sees this and appreciates this, and I hope that it brings some justice to Miss Kayla Prestridge. I hope her and her family get peace and get answers, because they deserve the answers to what happened to this young lady. At this moment, I'm going to play, you know, her video that I made for her. Rest in peace, Kayla. To the family, y'all are in my prayers. I pray that, you know, if y'all can, I know that she will never come back, but at least if you get answers and justice, you can kind of get some kind of closure, because I know right now it's open-ended, not knowing what happened. So I hope that you get justice. I hope this helps. Have a blessed day.